Alright, let's do it. Let's go. I hope we are all good now. Just, I have not so much time left, but I think in the future I will ask some guys from Chess24 if they can teach me some stuff. Yeah, this I could not avoid. Cannot really take the rook because of queen takes f2. Let's see if the guy is taking my draw or not. Definitely he should have. Okay. Okay. All right. The Terminator. Let's go. Now let's go to business. Playing the King's Indian. I hope all is fine with you guys. I played a 3-minute blitz, but this is not what I'm supposed to do, but not what I wanted to do, but okay. Okay, we have the same-ish King's Indian. I lost in this line as black against Wojtacek in Wijk but actually I like my position. My plan is actually very simple. I just going to put some pressure on the queen side, and it's like a vulgar gambit, but with one extra pawn for me. So now this pawn on a4 is kind of putting some pressure on on his pawns on b2 and a2, so, and he seems that he wants something there. I don't know exactly what, so let me just double. So e5, I have always this move knight to d5. Yeah, maybe should have played knight e4, because now I can choose probably put my bishop on d5 or take with the pawn, but bishop looks very good on d5. Yeah, so now he didn't like my pressure on this a2 pawn, but now I have this b pawn fixed. Now putting my queen on some active position. Let me put the rook on d8 just in case, you know, something on the d file is going to happen. Okay, of course the guy is kind of solid now, but it's not easy to break him here. But of course my bishop on d5 is a monster, so yeah, this is a kind of a strange move, because now I can actually force him to change queens, which is very favorable, because now he needs to change, and I take with the rook, and b2 is hanging, and he cannot really defend it. Maybe he should, I don't know what he wants. So I take here. Okay, let's do some fancy stuff. Not really needed, but I want to break open the position. So because now, let's say my bishops, they are really good. I want to take on b4, but and then to push the pawn, but it seems that that doesn't just work right now. So probably I have to be modest and block the pawn. And okay, eventually I want to push this e pawn, so that doesn't threaten anything. So that's always something nice when your opponent doesn't threaten anything. And we push it. Not sure what he's doing, where this knight is going. I'm just centralizing my pieces. King is coming. Yeah, and the bishops are working. Alright, very good. So let's see if we can find some nice rated guys. Okay, let's just take some some guys who are also want to play to the knight killer. So we play some Slav, so far so good. And not much yet to say about this line, it's just all theory, but Black has already solved his main problems, because okay, I already managed to develop my pieces like bishop b7 and attacking his center with c5, and so basically, well, he developed his queen very quickly, but he should have progressed aggressively by playing e4. So now we're just developing our pieces, and well, I don't see what's my problem. It's possible that he's also very fine, but when you play black, first you have to make sure you don't lose straight away. Knight killer from France, playing a decent game so far. Yeah, normally I like to take with the bishop on c5, but well, I didn't want to make this move bishop e7 to c5 because it looks a bit stupid. Stupid in the sense that you don't want to move the piece twice in the opening. So the position is actually quite balanced, but look at this pawn on b4, which is a prime target. He needs to take care of this. And well, if he takes on f6, I take with the bishop, and bishops will be strong. Now okay, he's moving the bishop, but the knight is jumping. He can still play bishop e5, because he needs to control the c3 square. But okay, let's see who's going to be first. So we have quite a symmetrical position. It should be slightly better for me, but it looks very drawish. Okay, it's hard to win a game when your opponent is playing perfectly. Well, maybe didn't really try to kill me, but okay, now I start to play some suspicious moves, I have to admit. This is not such a great move. You can just play e3, keep the knight on d4. I'm not really worse or something, but you can ask yourself, what is this knight doing on there on a4? This is maybe not something he should have allowed me to do, because now my rook is going to be active on d2. So I want to bring my rook, but I have to be careful of stuff like knight e7 check. Yeah, so he's moving back, so that's why it was obvious that this was not the best move to play. So now my idea is to go to d3. So he has the same idea, he wants to take on e6, so I better be careful. Yes, that's a good move, pinning my knight. And sort of threatening to play knight to f3, so I have to get rid of this pin. But yes, now he has rook a7, and well, I'm just fighting now for a draw. This move was not so accurate because it allows me a few things. And now he's giving the rook. Yes, knight killer, you managed to play quite well for quite some time. But not long enough. Okay, who's next? Some Mr. Nadam from Turkey. Trying to play Slav. So a6 Slav. This is interesting, but let's see how he's going to react to this move a4. And he's playing. So we have now kind of like a queen's gambit with a4, a5 included. Which, well, the knight of course is very good on b4, but doesn't do much, but it's a bit annoying, of course. So they have many lines that white's actually trying to change that knight by going back, playing knight to a2, for example. Yeah, this f3 move is a little bit suspicious because f6, sorry, because it's kind of weakening this diagonal. Yeah, so now I'm going to open up the center because this e6 pawn is kind of weak. Bishop to a6, so he doesn't want to give up here, but okay, let me just defend c4 pawn and putting pressure on the diagonal a2 g8. And I believe the fact that this pawn is now on f6, it's a huge difference. Okay, he's sidestepping, which, okay, I understand. However, I'm also just, again, putting the rook on the e-file in case at some point, of course, I don't mind him to take on c4, then we take, and I keep the center. If he takes on e4, then he's opening up the e-file for me, which is also kind of nice. Alright, so now it's going to be very, very sharp. Now it's going to be sharp game. So okay, let me just take this pawn because I think I can just take it. Yeah, and that's what they call Zwischenzug. The Germans, they invented some nice words for that. So we're going to have a game of Zwischenzugs, that looks like. Okay, so, well, let me take the guy. Queen c5, I was actually hoping for that move. I was not sure actually what's going to happen after knight c5 and knight jumps to d3, but this I sort of like, because now this queen on c5 is really in bad shape once this knight is moving. So the only way now he can play actually was to give the queen by going bishop takes e2. But so basically this is just acknowledging that something went wrong. So yeah, should I, if I take on c5, he can still take with the pawn and two pieces will be hanging. Okay, we're going in for some fun. Just provoking him to take on e4. Okay, he doesn't. Also fine. And a small combination. It's just a pawn, but okay, he can still take the a4 pawn. Okay, it's not so easy yet, but my d pawn should be very strong. Okay, I'm a pawn up, so, and I'm really controlling the game. Just I have to pay attention to my time situation. This I like because his king will get into some kind of trouble. Basically he cannot take on d6 because it's the rook e6 check idea. It should be very good. The only problem is that black is still a little bit solid. Okay, so I'm now just trying to force the issue. maybe a bad idea. Who knows? Probably it was a bad idea, but yeah, it's going to be a draw, it looks like. Yeah, I was a bit short of time, so alright, it was an interesting game. Okay, we found a client, it's called Fire Flasher. I remember him from last time, and his points are always welcome. Fire Flasher, are you there? Yes, he's there. That's good news. That is very good news. We are going to collect some nice rating points. Although I don't really want to encourage people to play for rating. I mean, because first of all you try to play chess. But well, normally you want to see some progress that you make, and normally that's shown in your rating. But in this case it's nice just to catch some guy. So we have endgame 2 bishops, so more time on the clock, so not completely clear to me what's actually my opponent's game plan. So my knight is very well placed on e5, so, and we just try to just making some moves and to see maybe change some pieces. Yeah, I think he should have played knight to d4, trying to challenge my bishop on c6, because now I have an easy game. Now curious how he will take back. Seems like Fire Flasher disconnected, but yeah, don't want to win like this, so let's hope he will be back on time. Otherwise I'm forced to give him a rematch and to lose more points, so poor guy got disconnected. Dr. Holmes, interesting. Let's see, where is Dr. Holmes? Where are you from? Hungary? Feed a master from Hungary. Dr. Holmes, are you there? Dr. Holmes? No. Okay, now I'll take another guy. You can't win them all. Easy Rider. Play. Invite me for the pitch. Maybe let's go for some King's Indian. With knight to d7. Not the main line, but it's normally played by players who like to be a bit more creative. But okay, now we are getting this kind of structure which I believe is kind of very unpleasant for black. Because simply there are no breaks. No center breaks, and eventually he needs to do something about this d5 square. Okay, so let's this was a bad move. I'm blundering a pawn. I just had to play bishop f2 first. So now bishop takes d5 was that because the bishop on e3 was hanging. So Easy Rider riding it easy, but he should have thought about it. Maybe now he realizes that he missed a big chance. That's good. We always like our opponents to realize it a bit too late, that because then it's very difficult for them to adjust. Yeah, so he's opening up the position, which actually I like. So I can take this guy, and probably I should take it. Yeah, I'll take it. And I'm not really afraid of any attack going to happen here. I can take on c5. Which kind of weakens my dark squares. So I don't want to do that. So I'm kind of going to focus on this weak f5 pawn. Yeah, so this was sort of expected, and now I have this g4. And I will have a nice pawn on g5 soon. Okay, he wants to take this pawn. Okay, let him take this pawn. That pawn is really of no importance, because I'm going to mate him. Because I'm going to play queen g6. Queen takes b2, queen g6. And it's going to hurt. I have many ideas here, like bishop takes c5 and play d6 and bishop c4 check coming. And basically my king is extremely safe. So if I take on c5, I really want to be sure that it's going to be made, because I don't want to give up this defender on f2. Yeah, so actually let me try something else which I think is much more fun to play. Let's smoke him out. Rook takes. Because I keep my bishop, because I'm a chicken. And now check. So he cannot go to h8 because of I take. And now, okay, we have many options. And now the move I like most, I'm not sure it's so great, but a4. We're going to play bishop b5 check. I like it from very aesthetic point of view. Yeah, this move, of course, is still sort of, yeah, maybe I should not have allowed this, but I think I had many good ways to play, and well, maybe a4 was a little bit too much. Still, I'm very good here, but got a little bit carried away. Still, well, you see this rook on a8 is simply doing nothing. So, and I'm planning to return, but maybe we can still, because he needs to get rid of this bishop on f2. Very important bishop, just stopping all counterplay. Yeah, okay, so soon he will have one check, it's on g4, so that's still kind of manageable. That's not something we are really afraid of. So I think he needs to play probably rook f7. Yeah, so he has to, well, rook d8 mate is a threat, and it was missed by my opponent. Yeah, it was not a bad game, but I had a feeling that from positional point of view, black got completely smashed. Okay, we have our client Fire Flasher. Let's give him one more chance to donate some points. Fire Flasher. Yes, he's back in town. Okay, so we have some Najdorf. And it's with bishop e3, so it could become very theoretical. I will try to play some old line, maybe some old forgotten line, trying to trick my opponent into some kind of old stuff. Not sure this is the right move order which I wanted to play, but let's see. Looks like my opponent is a little bit puzzled right now, so that's good news. So my main point is that I didn't want to waste any time playing h6 or something like that. I didn't want to weaken my pawn structure. So I want to see how he's going to attack me. Yes, this move is... it's possible, but now he needs to think about it, and he's asking for this guy, for this one, and knight a4. This is all actually pretty standard. Rook takes c3 in Sicilian is actually your basics, and since he put his knight on a5, well, I have this extra tempo now. It's already, his position is already collapsing. So Fire Flasher, maybe it was better to stay disconnected, but well, we had to give you a rope to hang yourself. Today, as you probably realize that, yeah, you realize he's toast. Today I'm not really going to give any draws or worse. Nizahe is from nobody knows, and okay, we play again Sicilian, a little bit different, but it seems like he's wants to play the e3, bishop e3. Sicilians, like most, want to do that. And I'm the counter break in the center. Let's see how he's going to react to that. I had a few games in this line, pretty decent results. This move should not be so great, but okay, let's see how he's going to react after de4. Instead of knight b3, there are moves like queen e1, bishop e2. And now what I like about my position is that simply my structure is a little bit better than his. Especially this pawn on e4 is my main focus. This pawn I'm going to ask some questions at some point. And because of the structure, you can see that my knight on e5 is now very solid. And all my pieces are good. Which cannot be said about the bishop on g2 because it's just a defender. Okay, let's check him if he wants to play the endgame with two bishops for me. Okay, I'm going to test him. So it's either I want to play bishop g5 or knight c4, or knight c4, I mean bishop g5 and then knight c4, or knight c4 right away. It's an interesting question. Somehow knight c4 feels right. So bishop takes f6, we change the rooks, and well, this b2 pawn is weak and e4 pawn is weak, and I think it should be good for me. Especially I have ideas with f5 and to transpose to some, well, I think I'm just going to have a winning endgame. And now it's not clear for him which move to make, because for example move like knight d2, I have bishop g5, pinning, e5 doesn't work, bishop g5 check, and bishop takes g2. So it's not easy to find a move. Well, so he's making some sort of waiting move, I guess. Maybe he wants to prepare e5. So, okay, now I'm just going to collect one pawn. Cannot be bad. I'm forcing his bishop to move, and I take on d1, take on b2. It's maybe even better to give check first, but okay, let me just try to play extremely precise. First bishop check, so king c2 is forced. As you know, I love my pawn structure. I have like 2 islands of pawns, and he has 1, 2, 3, 4. Apart from that, he's a pawn down. This is just a classic example. So now we're going to target this pawn on e4. And basically he cannot really defend it. Yeah, okay. Now the only thing what we should try to, well, avoid is opposite color bishops. But basically he's just 2 pawns down and yeah. Alright. Let's get to business today. Today I'm, well, yes, I don't know what was happening with me, going on with me last week, but somehow I was not in the best shape. So playing knight off with h3, very popular at this moment. Yeah, I think here black had to play really to push d5. You have to play aggressive sometimes, because okay, it's all fight for this d5 square. The big knight on c6 of course is not badly placed, but you have to play d5 and play bishop b4 and try to fight for that square. Because now I'm really threatening to control the game of playing g5. Yeah, you cannot really do that. You're simply allowing me just to take control. I'm not sure if this g5 is so good, but well, it's too late to take the move back. Maybe I should have played just bishop g2. Yeah, queen to a5, but I'm not impressed. Because at some point I will play bishop d2 and my knight will go to d5 anyway. Yes, f6, this, for example, this cannot really be the solution. Even more weakening the light squares. Yeah, I wanted to play bishop d5, but then I realized he still has knight to d8. So, okay, I will play a little bit tricky. I'm waiting for him to play knight to d4, and then I will go bishop d5, and then I don't see how he can prevent the mate. Okay, I will just castle. So if he takes on c2, bishop d5. Another threat is knight to d5. Yes, senor. And now what? Trying to avoid the mate, but now g7 and queen f7 is the threat. Yeah, that's it. That's it, my friend. Time to go home. Yes, thank you. Okay, who's next in line? Difficult name to pronounce, so let's not even try it. Are you there? He is there. Good. From Philippines. Playing some kind of London system. Very solid. Very solid. We try to squeeze something out of this guy. I'm not sure I was supposed to play him because I realized that he's not a premium member. So you got lucky this time. You got a discount. Become a premium member of Chess24. And you'll be legally playing me. Yeah, so this knight on h4 of course is not doing anything there, but it kicks my bishop out, of course. Okay, we're going to try to choke him. I'm not sure this is going to work, but we're going to take the space. We're going to try to restrict all his pieces. So I don't know what the guy is actually thinking about. He has to play knight e2 anyway. Yeah, I was already hoping that he was considering this move, but because eventually he should lose this e5 pawn. Only question, should I take it with the bishop or with the knight on e5? Somehow I have the feeling that my knight is going to be stronger. Yeah, well, now he's just giving up the pawn just for nothing, which we are happily accepting. And now we also threaten to play knight to d3. The point is that opposite colored bishops is probably still not winning, even if I have a passed pawn on d3. So, okay, I'm going to play a little bit tricky with this guy. It looks like just retreating move, But in fact, my idea is to play knight c5, so now I'm threatening to play knight a4. And if he had played bishop to d1, I had knight to d3. So he should have played bishop d1 back in order to meet knight c5 with bishop c2. Yeah, of course this is not doing anything, but I like just to give my bishop just to control this diagonal. This guy is not going anywhere. Okay, I'm getting ready for the next game, because this is over. In the end, you see also my bishop on e4 is dominating the bishop on e2. You know what? I'm going to give him, he wants to trick me with this move b3, and I will allow him. How sweet of me. Because if he plays b3, I go cb3, bishop takes b5, king d8, and my b pawn will queen. So, okay, so only premium members. Hopefully find some nice guys, high rated. I found another fish. Finding the Modad. Whatever. Let's play Catalan. This is a bit unusual. Okay, let's pretend I didn't see anything. And okay, so we get kind of typical structure. I'm going to press against this d5 pawn on this c file. Yeah, and this is kind of usual way of playing. And okay, because of this pin, and now I'm attacking the last defender of d5. And now the guy probably realizes that he's in trouble. He can still play this move knight to e4. That's probably the only move he still has left. Basically there's nothing really to think about, because it's really the only move he has. I'm not even sure this move bishop e5 was the best, but okay, let's see. My structure of course is very good, as always. So I'm attacking now this e4 pawn, and I want to play rook d1, and well, basically things are looking good for me. opponent is probably thinking what to play, f5 or f6, maybe knight d4. But knight d4 is just losing a pawn. So he goes. And if I go rook d1, maybe he has knight to d4. Possibly. But maybe not. Maybe not. I have many options here. Good options. Actually, I like this one the most, queen to b3. Because attacking this guy and this diagonal, something might be hanging at some point. So if he goes bishop d5, I have rook d1, and then some problems for Mr. So how is he going to solve this? For example, move like queen c8, probably I will play bishop to d6, and I want to free the d6 square for my knight. Although bishop d6 would allow a knight jump to d4, maybe I should not allow that. Yeah, this is maybe possible. But okay, I will just play e3. My next move will be rook d1. The problem is after rook d1, he has only one square. I want to say c6, and then he can go. Okay, so I have to play rook d1. I promised it. So queen c6 and knight d6. And now this knight is in grave danger. Also, this guy is hanging. I think he's just losing a piece. Still hanging on. Good for him. Okay, let's bring some extra troopers. So he wants to play, maybe he wants to push, maybe. Yeah, okay, I'm going to cash in, I guess. And rook to d6. That should be enough. That will do. c4, rook takes c6, and on c8 is hanging. Au revoir, monsieur. This is it. Nice doing business with you. Yeah, and he has a lost endgame. Excellent. So far, so good. Next, Mr. Mortensen, 88. From Faroe Islands, playing a very solid opening. Fine. As I said before, we love our opponents to play passive openings. I would be more terrified if the guy tries to grab my c5 pawn and try to hang on to that. But this is really something nice. I have space, I can develop easily and slowly squeeze my opponents. So okay, you managed to castle, but now what, huh? Now the real problems start. Yeah, this is dangerous to say the least. Because now I'm curious how you will defend this d4 pawn. Okay, like this, huh? Okay, now I'm threatening to play g5, winning the piece. I was hoping he would play e3, so bishop e3, then g5 immediately winning the piece. But now, okay, I'm threatening g5. If he plays f4, knight g4, winning a pawn. So he needs to make all kind of strange maneuvers, putting his pieces in strange positions. So he cannot play f4 because of g4. Look at this poor bishop. Okay, I must say, somehow he managed kind of to get out of this, well, you can call it shit, yeah. Okay, let me just put the rook on the open file. Yeah, it's a pity I didn't really manage to finish him off, but okay, now we just have to play chess. We just have to play chess. So, targeting c4. If he plays b3, which I was hoping for, I would play it anyway. Because if he takes, I take the rook. So probably he doesn't like that. But okay. I don't think he has some compensation here. Because he doesn't trap my queen. Okay, I'm exchange up. He has some activity, of course. More than he deserves, but okay, anyway. It's just an exchange. Yeah, well, this knight is too strong, so I have to get rid of it. He's allowing me to play knight f6 back, but okay, I will just take this guy. Now I'm just going to attack him on c5. So if he opens up, it's... And actually this bishop on h3 is not really attacking anything. I say, okay, my bishop on g7 is not doing anything either, but okay, it's... once the position is open, then my rook start to work. Yeah, so he wants to change the rooks, so fine with me. Yeah, this is just an easy win. Okay, we're going to play like chicken. Yeah, I think this a pawn is simply queening. Okay, queen g. This was kind of to be expected, but just stopping bishop takes h6 and that's it. No counterplay for Mr. Trying to get some check in, but you got to do better than that. Again, he's trying to get some activity. Let's just stop him. Okay. He was there before. Thank you. Okay, who we have here? Master from Belgium. Yeah, this is some tricky line. Of course, I have not a real clue what's going on here, but just trying to make some healthy moves. So, what do you want? Okay. Fine with me. Let me kick out this bishop. Maybe I shouldn't, but because bishop was not really doing anything there, but at some point I want to play this move d6. Yeah, so we get a kind of normal structure, but well, Sicilian players, they're normally kind of happy with this kind of positions because we have one extra central pawn. And we don't really run any risk of being mated. Yeah, this is also the question if this move b5 was actually so great, because, well, it's a target also. But I thought, okay, well, let's play active. Not sure what I did was so great, but it cannot be that bad either. The only problem is that, okay, he wants to play knight d4 at some point. And now this pawn is actually really becoming a weakness. I have to say that this was not really well played from my side. So okay, I'm going to give this pawn at some point, but I don't know at which point. Question is if he threatens to take here or not. Okay, decide just to give him this pawn right away. I don't like my position, to be honest, but well, I have still some play. Still, I don't like my position. It's getting worse and worse, to be honest, but yeah, this move I'm kind of happy to see, because I was more afraid that he would play something like rook c7. Now I can still hang around, start fishing a little bit here and there. But I must say, not a very convincing play from my side so far. Yes, and now I'm almost toast with my queen trapped, so I have to do this. Not sure actually it helps. Maybe I'm just lucky, because I'm afraid that b5 is very strong. Maybe I can kind of hold myself here, but have to be careful. I have to be careful with this guy, it seems like. This guy is tricky. This. Okay, let's go fishing. This queen might be actually quite annoying over there. It should be good for me, but it should be good enough at least for me to make a draw, but because this knight on b6 is very well placed. The fact that I just blown the piece doesn't really help much. Yeah, I was running short of time. It was an interesting game, but I was in trouble early on. Alright. Well played. Yeah, in Banter you have to be careful with your time. So we're playing some kind of Dutch, and yeah, I let him just play e6, e5. It's not such a big deal, but I don't know if you should play here e4 or not, but because I think he cannot really hold his center. At one point I will play f3. Having said that, he is just playing like this anyway. So I'm really going to put some pressure on this d5 pawn. Let's see if he can really stand the pressure. So this is a little trick. If dc, I play d5, winning the piece. And now his main problem is, okay, what's going to be his next move? Because if bishop f7, f5 pawn is Yeah, so this is what kind of expected, some waiting move, but because he doesn't know what to do anymore. So I'm also making some kind of semi-waiting move, rook c1, but probably a bit more useful than his move. Yeah, again, making a waiting move. Okay, I do the same. I think eventually the guy he will do something, or I will do something. Probably I will do something. So I'm going just to take everything. And e3, and so basically I want to bring this bishop over to f1. Don't think black has any realistic attacking chances over here. So I just have to play queen c2, rook d1, bishop, maybe bishop f1. Then again, my structure is extremely solid. So maybe he wants to regroup, like knight to e7 and play c6. Could be a plan. Now he's actually forced to play knight e7. Okay, since he doesn't threaten anything, I just play rook c2. Yeah, as expected, and maybe I play rook to b1. Because actually at some point I want to play b4 and then this rook might be good on b1. Okay, g5 doesn't do anything, of course. Just attacking some air. As long as we are sure we can change the queens, I mean, we don't really care about this f5, f4 stuff. It will only weaken so. Okay, so let me play bishop f1 because maybe I want to take back with the bishop. Yeah, so finally he's playing this move, so I think he probably wants to play queen f5 now, so I have to take this guy. And bishop e2 just to stop him from rook f3 ideas. I must say black is actually quite solid. Yeah, but this move I don't really like for him because it's just depriving him from all kind of counterplay. It's a bit sad move. And so I'm attacking this a5 pawn. Okay, he can take this a3 pawn, which he finally does. I must say my opponent is fighting well, but But there's always a but, as you all know. Okay, let's play some suspicious moves. But okay, he just allows me to play b4, b5. And that was not really... Now his structure is under pressure. Yeah, my opponent has very little time. This is going to cost him. And now his structure is collapsing. Ah, he has a mating threat. My goodness, almost. Almost. Yeah, he's giving the rook, yeah. Yeah, he played quite well, I must say. Okay, let's see if there's anybody out there. Matutev, Argentina. Yeah, this line in French, I have some bad memories. But the c4 move, I don't know if it's... Always happy to see releasing the pressure. Maybe cd4 or was better. Because now I'm just having this e5 square, so I don't see what's my problem here. And I have just easy game somehow. Easy game. I just develop, I play probably g3, bishop g2. And this bishop on c8 is just doing nothing, just defending this e6 pawn. Yeah, queen d8, but what is this move, queen d8? Probably he wants to play bishop d6 without having to worry about moves like knight takes c4. Yeah, so I was kind of right, but so I put my bishop on h3, putting some pressure there on e6. and just developing the pieces. So knight takes c, knight takes knight, pawn takes knight, forking, doesn't work. So maybe he has to go bishop takes, but okay, I just keep the pressure. So guy, what do you want here? Is this how you play the French, in Argentina? Because I think basically it's the only way to play is like bishop takes knight, pawn takes knight, and knight d7. But then e6 pawn is hanging. This is a bit of a sad position, of course. Yes, maybe, but after now I don't, well, maybe his only square he can go to is e8, but this is a very sad square. My knight is coming. And look at the, well, what this knight can do. Well, it can go maybe to g7 after g6, but then my bishop will land on h6. And this is not going to be any better for him. So, sort of interesting what to do here now. So many good options. Okay, let me just go for it. I want to free this d4 square. So probably you will try to play knight f5, but his pieces remain so bad. But he has no choice. Knight f5 only move. I thought it was only move, but boy, I was wrong. So just a move which I really like from positional point of view is this move g4. Okay, it looks a bit stupid to block, but now both is nice. They can never use this f5 square anymore. Yes, now basically I can do whatever I want. Okay, I'll just play this a4 move. It's just I'm in full control. And my opponent likes to move backwards, so, well, okay, let me just move this king out of this pin or whatever. But it's just, I don't need even to make a move. This is just, positionally, it's just so hopeless. It seems that my opponent found a plan. Let's check what is he going to do after this move. Yeah, it was hopeless anyway, so. Alright. Warrior 1. From Poland. Let's go, Warrior. Hopefully you checked this line, which I like to play in Blitz. Did you check it? Or not? You didn't do your homework? So actually knight c6 is here the most critical move. But most guys, they take on c3. Knight c6 is not a very well known move because everybody's afraid of losing this pawn on c5 or some, so that's they normally take on c3. But knight c6 is the critical move, and then after takes, take on a2. And then I have to sacrifice also the b2 pawn. Yeah, so my opponent doesn't go for the most critical one. So, and here I'm sort of happy with what I have. What's this king h8 move? What is this? I don't understand. It was maybe a mouse slip, or I don't know, because what could be the idea of king h8? I just play normal chess. At least that's what I think I do. Just developing my pieces. Yeah, the guy is just helping me. He just wants to help me. Okay, let me see. Let's go for it. Yeah, somehow I thought this should not be good. And why? Why, oh why did I think so? So first rook a1, he will play bishop e6. Knight to b4. Oh boy, this is going to be unpleasant for the guy. This is going to hurt. S6, yeah? Really? Really? Come on, guy. Can't really do that. You can't do that. Well, maybe I had other moves as well, but okay, okay, I just don't know how he's going to protect his queenside pawns. Apart from that, I have other threats like rook b5 and okay, maybe it's not so bad. Realize it now, maybe he can play still a5. Yeah, but this should not be it. This cannot be it. Because now he doesn't have this a5 defense anymore. Yeah, now everything is hanging. So basically, if he plays a5, well, I can even take the a5 pawn first and slowly take all his queenside pawns. Yes, but okay, now the guy really starts to fish. Let's see what he had in mind after this move, knight d2. Warrior. Yeah, there's basically no harmony between his pieces, so it's kind of logical that at some point it collapses. His sandcastle is collapsing. Well, he wishes it were a sandcastle, but yeah, if you don't see the moves, then this is it. Okay, I see already some victim coming up. His name is Jordan. So, Cobraman, are you there? Otherwise, I'm going to eat this guy Jordan alive. Cobraman. Okay, I'm going to abort because I'm going to eat this Dutch fish Jordan. One of these weak grandmasters from the Netherlands. Jordan boy. Let's see what he has on his mind. G4, very aggressive Jordan. Come to Papa. Oh my god. Jordan is attacking. He is attacking. I'm scared now. So, Jordan boy, huh? So you're pushing some pawns and now what? like Nakamura maybe, huh? That was his plan, to play bishop to e2. If this is the Dutch hope, then I'm really worried now. But hopefully it's his brother who's playing, hopefully, or his sister. Anybody except him. That would be, let's hope for that. So many good options here against Jordan. So many good options. I can only play one. This is the bad news. I want to play d5. That's just one move which is actually kind of bothering me, which is knight c5. Okay, let me just make this waiting move, h6, finally. Because I don't think he wants to castle queenside, because I'm already so far advanced, but so basically, yeah, so finally he's still castling queenside. So, but I think now I'm much faster than him. So okay, my primary threat is to play b4. So if king b1, b4, and so this is kind of forced for him to so let me just, don't know what he exactly is going to do, but okay, no, castle I cannot do because of knight d5. Have to be careful with this guy. Okay, I have to jump. I have to jump first. That's not an easy game still. Jordan is playing for tricks or what? He wants to play bishop b6. Come on, Jordan. Don't play for these stupid tricks. I didn't really deserve that. Not sure this is what I wanted. Maybe I should have taken it on f3, but this is I don't know what this is going to be. If he just gives me a few more moves to consolidate, then I don't know what's he doing here, but I must say I'm not really very pleased with my position here, but this looks bad suddenly. It would be such a shame to lose to that guy. Yeah, but it looks it's over. Yeah. Oh boy, how is it possible to lose to this guy? Interesting game. Typical two-way attacks, but he was there first for some reason. Not sure he should have. Should be faster, but it was interesting. Now he will be bonking his chest in front of the mirror, but okay, well, good for him, Jordan. Sicilians, they can always go wrong badly. So, Mr. Ates, are you there? Hello? Okay, I want to play a few more games and then I will call it a day. So I'll tell my wife to warm up the pizza. Anyway, okay, this guy doesn't look he's around, so oh, I was about to click abort, so just so after this game I'll play probably one more game and then it's enough for me for today. At least I hope you learned a bit. My son starts to cry for some reason, but Probably because I lost to Jordan. Probably cannot take it any longer. Disappointed in his dad. Well, well. So my opponent is playing a little bit passively, I must say. And I'm going to take space. I have the center, so that's good. So he wants to change pieces, or wants to go knight to g4. Okay. I'll let him change one pair of pieces. But I'm really focused now on this pawn on d3, which is like a nice target. And let's just put some extra pressure on this guy. My opponent lost to defend, which we're happy to see that. So let me just check how he's going to defend this knight on f3. Yes, so this is possible, but well, now I switch back to the long diagonal, and it might some mate coming on h1. This looks, of course, extremely dangerous for the guy. Yeah, so finally he cannot stand it anymore. But okay, now this huge square b4, d4, b4, it's all weak now. I don't know what's this guy doing here, but I send him back. Go back. Go back. Yeah, this is not going to be funny for the guy. I'm going to run him over. Well, he has to play here f3, but okay, you know what? I will give him this rook. Let's see if he takes it or not. Well, I needed to make this square for the knight. I didn't even really care about the rook. And now this guy is coming in, so it's time to shake hands. Okay, let's play one more game. See if there's a very big whale swimming around here. I try to take the biggest whale. This looks like the biggest one around. From Italy. So we're going to play some Nimzo. Let's see. Let's see. Probably I already confused the move order. I should have played probably Rook C1 here first. Now maybe he can take and go Queen A5. Yes, this is interesting, but okay, let me just take on D5. Let's see if he takes with the queen or with the pawn. Yeah, so this is not a bad way to play, but I think this is will go wrong very quickly, because now all these dark squares, for some reason he played this move F5 without being forced to. And now this looks like, well, really nice for me to start checking him there. Now he felt compelled to play F6, but now E6 pawn. Yeah, this is, I want to make this move anyway. So my opponent is really trying to help me, which I really appreciate. And I'm going to attack this E6 pawn, like I promised. So maybe should go, yeah, he's just giving me the pawn, which, well, now he's just going to be a pawn down. And he has many weak pawns, so I like to attack them all. I just need to find a way how to break his position, but okay, I'm a pawn up and he's actually quite passive. Yeah, well, finally it's time to take something. Yeah, but okay, now he's just giving up pawns like this. I mean, what is this kind of play? Just give me all the pawns or what? And now I can tell you we're going to try to mate him. Just fixing him there. Yeah. Alright guys, so this is it for today. Let's see, I lost to Jordan, which was kind of unpleasant, but okay, it was an interesting game, and lost one game to the cool guy. Was okay, I was a bit short of time, and I lost one other game, which the guy played actually quite well, but it was a drawish endgame, but I was short of time. For the rest, well, I played at least much better than last week, and well, I hope you enjoyed a little bit this session. I hope you learned a little bit here and there how to put your pieces, and anyway, I'm sure I will be back at some point. I will speak to some guys Chess24. They can teach me how to get my setup right, because okay, it's kind of freaking me out every time that I have some issues. Anyway, good luck next time against maybe Mr. Trent or Mr. or Mrs. Giri or whatever, maybe Atiban. Anyway, see you around, take care.